Yes, sir, Bob. Greetings, my friends, and welcome. It's always great to have you here. It's always great to be here. It's a great opportunity every day. It's a delight. And it really is great to have you here. Rush Limbaugh, the EIB Network, the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies. The telephone number, if you want to be on the program, is lrushbaugh at eibnet.com. Man, every day now it's ISIS. Now that the regime has got us talking about ISIS. Yesterday it was something else. The other day was the growing economy. I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors. There is no strategery to defeat ISIS. There's no I heard what Obama said. He doesn't think they're anything. He doesn't think they're a thing. They're just a bunch of random criminals running around like in his hometown of Chicago. But despite that, Obama's use of military force request, have you seen it? It actually reads like a request not to use military force. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that Obama didn't just say he was going to do a hashtag campaign against ISIS and leave it at that. Really, it's I don't know. To me, it's not funny, but parts of this are, watching the media, just glom onto it. The dear leader goes in a direction every day, and the media just gloms it like it's the most important thing. Meanwhile, over here we got Scott Walker, who all of a sudden is disqualified for the presidency because he didn't go to college. Well, he didn't finish. He abandoned college in his senior year, I think. And so now he didn't go to college, so he's not qualified, which is absurd. Most of the people who've gotten this country in deep trouble have come out of college. They have been taught how to mess things up in college. They have been instructed in bureaucracy and sustaining bureaucracy and never solving problems and getting credit for solving problems. They never solve anything. They came out of college. And then back in 2012, it was contraception that led to the war on women, the question of Mitt Romney. And all of a sudden they're asking Scott Walker what he thinks about evolution. It's about time the Republicans started turning the tables whenever they have a chance to talk to Democrats. A guy, Twitter, put together a list, and it's a very helpful list. Some of the crazy things Democrats say that they are never asked to either defend or explain that they ought to be. And I, ladies and gentlemen, have that list. And I, of course, have added to it. That's coming up later on the program. Now, seriously, Obama says he isn't going to use ground troops against ISIS, against these random, whatever they are, apart from special ops. Oh, yeah, we're going to use special ops. You mean like snipers? Snipers? Are we going to use snipers, these inherent racist murderers in our military? And he says it's all going to be over in 3 years. But what's the threat? They're just a bunch of random actors that we can't stop crime in the streets of Chicago. We can't stop crime in the streets of any city. We do our best to stay even. What is this 3 years business? He's going to be gone, hopefully, in 2 years. So ISIS only has to hang on. What, for 2 years or 3 years? Obama's PSAs about violence against women carry more weight than what he plans to do against ISIS. All this violence against women stuff and abuse, you can tell he cares about that stuff, or at least he does. He thinks it's a political opportunity for him. But the stuff he says about that, he says with more force and more conviction than he's saying anything about ISIS. Speaking of that, I wish women would make up their minds. I wish the feminazis would make up their minds. Okay, so the feminist movement kicks off in the late 60s, and it's all about unleashing the women inside that have been held back, whatever. And that they're free now to go do anything they want to do. And so here comes our evolution, and we become 50 Shades of Gray, and there's bondage and stuff in it, and women are all upset about their portrayal in 50 Shades of Grey, which I thought was all about freedom and being who they were and what they wanted to do. It's tough, folks. It's tough to keep up with these people on the left. And you know why? You know why it's tough to keep up with liberals and progressives? Because they lie. They have to lie in order to advance their agenda. The problem is most people, I mean, you and I know that they lie. Most people, they're not going to make just a dead certain conclusion like that. So they accept what these people say, they mull it over, they consider it, they believe it, they pay no attention to whatever. But they don't zero in on the fact that pretty much all of what the left says, by and out of necessity, is a lie. You know, if I were Scott Walker, what I would say about college, I mean, he won't do this because he's a real candidate, but I would. Mr. Limbaugh, it's been learned here you seek the presidency and you think you're eminently qualified, but we're looking at your past. And we see here that you quit the University of Southeast Missouri in your second semester of your freshman year after refusing to take ballroom dance taught by a lesbian drill sergeant in the WEX. That happens to be true. What in the world are you thinking, Mr. Limbaugh? Why would you ignore and quit college if you had grandiose designs of becoming the president? My answer would be, I left college because I didn't want to be accused of rape someday. Now, he can't say that, of course, but I mean, that's the guy. Just ram it right down there. They're trying to create this rape culture on the campus. Well, I quit because, I don't want to be accused of rape down the road. It seems like any man that goes to college could randomly be accused of committing rape. And whether the story's true or not doesn't matter. The people who write the story guess, well, I may not have gotten it right here, but we know it happens. So I wanted to remove myself from this culture that might have turned me into a very mean guy and just see what they say. Well, we claim, cram what they believe, what they claim to be right down their throats. Democrat Party, ladies and gentlemen, has, I'm told, chosen Philadelphia as the site of their convention in 2016. Now, I understand the politics of this. Pennsylvania is an important swing state, but I see a lot of irony here. I see a lot of contradictions here. In fact, I'll go even further. I see a lot of hypocrisy here. Who do the Democrats think they are, picking Philadelphia? Philadelphia is where the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were written, debated, refined, and approved. And especially the Constitution. What in the world are the Democrats going to the site of the creation of the Constitution for their conventions like ISIS holding a convention in Bethlehem? It's an odd choice. Bill Cosby's hometown to boot. The Democrats in Philadelphia, the home of the Constitution, the thing that Obama's treating like toilet paper? Well, let's say Post-it notes. Toilet paper. It is. It'd be like ISIS telling us they're going to have a mid-campaign strategy session in Bethlehem. It just wouldn't work. So jamming unconstitutional Obamacare down our throats after wiping the southern border off the map for all intents and purposes. After the executive branch grants de facto amnesty to millions of illegals, the Democrats head to the birthplace of federalism in our constitutional republic, Philadelphia. And we need to create a new bell. Philadelphia, the Liberty Bell. Put one right beside it, just in time, get it ready, and ring it every day. The Democrats are in town, called the Tyranny Bell. To make the Democrats feel welcome. I know you people of Philadelphia can do this. That's a better fit for the Democrats. Philadelphia politics, 21st century. Fox News poll. 73% say Obama does not have a clear strategy to defeat ISIS. It ought to be 100% because he doesn't. He doesn't have a strategy to defeat ISIS. All of this is smoke and mirrors. Why is he asking for authority anyway? He never asks for congressional authority for boots on the ground wherever he wants to go, anywhere else. Why now? Because he wants to rope Congress in on this with whatever happens. Fox News poll released yesterday finds voters doubt The White House has a clear strategy for dealing with ISIS, and a majority calls its emphasis on diplomacy a half-hearted effort to deal with the problem. 73% of voters say the White House does not have a clear strategy for defeating ISIS, which is up from 64% who felt that way less than 5 months ago. You know, I see a poll like this, and frankly, I'm shocked. In a way, part of me is surprised that Fox could find enough people who know what ISIS is. Well, no, that's not it. They could find enough people who know enough to be able to answer a question about Obama's strategy regarding ISIS. I mean, I hope it's true. I wish it were 100%. You don't see 73% of the population agree on much of anything. But in this case, how can they not? It was, I think, 2012 elections. Obama used to get his highest approval ratings for his handling of terrorism and his foreign policy in general. I'm not kidding. 3 years ago. What do you mean? Why what now? Why is Obama going after ISIS now? Well, one thing, ISIS continues to kill Americans. And it turns out that the regime had a rescue plan ready to go and delayed it a month. The reason escapes me. I had to do a cram course on this right for the program. I've got it here in the stack, but I don't recall right off the top of my head why they delayed it. But the delay led to the death of Kayla Mueller. And I think, I don't know that that's a factor. Whatever it is, it's not real. There is no strategy to defeat them, so the real reason he's doing it is obscured. It's obviously rooted in PR and polling data, focus groups, and that kind of thing. But it also uses it as a distraction. You know, there's another story. Some economist has written. He's had it. He said this talk about a roaring economy. None of it's true. There isn't any economic recovery, and there hasn't been since Obama has been in office. There is literally no economic recovery. And he goes through the numbers just like we have on this program. The unemployed and how much ticking up, the number of people on food stamps. By the way, the USDA is bragging about how many Americans are on food stamps at the UN. Do you realize it wasn't that long ago? It was 28 million Americans on food stamps. Now it's close to 50 million Americans. They're bragging about it at the UN. It's a gold star moment for them to show how much they care and how much help they're providing. You know, Democrats define compassion by how many people are on the federal dole. All right, take a break, come back. Obama's ISIS speech. Got some sound bites, and it's really all about what he's not going to do to defeat these quote-unquote folks. What is this anyway? Folks business. They're just a bunch of random folks. ISIS? Random? You think Obama uses that word when he's talking to people in the White House, his family?